Welcome to this conversation. Today we're diving into the intriguing legacy of Socrates, how he weaponized questions and why that still sends shivers down the spines of those in power.
I'm really pumped to discuss this. So, he's not the typical warrior, but more of a verbal revolutionary, right?
Exactly. It's like, imagine challenging the very foundation of every belief without shouting, without violence, just using questions. That's what Socrates
I get
did,
that.
and its impact ripples all the way to today.
Yes, it's fascinating how someone who never wrote books could leave such a mark. How did his method actually work?
So basically, it wasn't simply asking questions, but those questions that are so deep, so incisive, that they dig right beneath the surface of accepted truths. For example, say someone claims, justice means giving people what they deserve. Socrates would just ask, what do you mean
Right,
by that?
exactly.
And that simple, relentless questioning gets to the core of the belief.
So he basically forced people to think deeply? Like making them realize that their notions were built on shaky grounds?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like a intellectual scalpel cutting through our
Yep, I
accepted
see that.
figurative defenses. He made people confront the truth under their assumptions, even if it made them, well, a bit uncomfortable.
And that discomfort? It's still such a big deal today, isn't it? I mean, when we ask certain tough questions, immediately, someone gets defensive.
Yeah, very much so. Today, ask someone, what exactly is freedom, or why do you believe in your particular truth? And suddenly, cracks appear. It's like everyone's armor, built on convention, starts to crumble. It's not just an academic exercise, it's a challenge to the status
Definitely.
quo.
It's almost a rebellion in itself, right? But isn't there a risk in pushing people so hard? Couldn't this just become, confrontational or even destructive?
That's a key point. The Socratic method isn't aimed at winning an argument, it's more like instigating reflection. But, well, it can feel
I
like a battle
understand.
sometimes. Socrates wasn't out for victory in debate. He was pushing for insight, for a reckoning with our own ignorance.
Right, and it's interesting because in today's world, many seem to shy away from such introspection. Instead, there's more talk about comfort and validation.
Exactly. Think about it. We live in a hyper-connected society where questioning too much can actually get you in major trouble. Um, like how dissent is painted as extremism in some
Yeah,
circles.
very true.
People fear the kind of hard questions Socrates championed because it really exposes the cracks in our beliefs.
And speaking of cracks, you know, I'm curious. Do you think that this approach is still relevant as a tool for intellectual freedom today?
Absolutely, it is. He basically was the original gadfly, poking at authority until it could no longer ignore the truth.
Correct.
It's like, if you have a house of cards, one precise poke, one exact question, and the entire structure, all those shallow beliefs, comes tumbling down.
But here's my challenge. Doesn't this method risk spiraling into nihilism or just constant doubt? I mean, if you always question everything, what holds society together?
That's a fair critique. But, what Socrates argued was that admitting our ignorance is actually the first step toward seeking true wisdom.
Yes, exactly. I
Rather
see
than
that.
causing chaos, these questions encourage, a deeper understanding, even if it means our comfortable assumptions are, well, questioned.
Right. It's like the discomfort is part of the growth process. Although, I can see how some might feel that constant questioning undermines confidence or social cohesion.
True, and that's one of the reasons why authorities have always been wary of such questioning. Back in Athens, things were already on edge after a war, with traditions and authority clinging for dear life. So his
Yeah,
method wasn't
absolutely.
just academic, it was a direct challenge to prevailing power structures.
And wow, get this. He literally said he was the gadfly sent by the gods to shock the city awake. That's powerful imagery.
Exactly. He wasn't operating from a place of aggression, but rather, it was a calculated wake-up call. The idea that a simple question could ignite such a profound change is, well, almost revolutionary. It's
Indeed.
like no loud rallies needed, just a question that nobody wants to answer.
And this ties in deeply with modern concepts too. Think about investigative journalism or even academic debates. They thrive on this kind of rigorous questioning.
Absolutely. The method, its essence, is alive in how scientists form hypotheses, how journalists push past the official narrative, and why educators now, often more than ever, use guided questioning instead of didactic lectures.
Yep, totally.
It's all about fostering an environment where ideas are constantly tested and verified.
Yet, we also see how dangerous such questioning can be in certain regimes, or even in social groups where dissent is not tolerated. You know, asking, "What do you mean by freedom?" might get you into serious trouble today.
Right on. It's like societies that are built on strict hierarchies or rigid dogmas often see this method as a threat because it dismantles unearned certainty. And very
Yeah,
much like
exactly.
Socrates' trial, it can lead to a kind of intellectual persecution or even outright censorship.
It's remarkable how timeless this is. Socrates' approach, quiet but potent, can still spark debates that challenge modern ideologies and even, political correctness.
Absolutely, and I'd say that's possibly the most potent aspect of his legacy: intellectual courage. It's a reminder that sometimes the most powerful revolutions start with a single, simple question that a society would rather not hear.
And it really makes you wonder, are we in danger of being too comfortable with our beliefs now? Are we, maybe, overprotecting our narratives?
Yes, exactly. We're so intent on avoiding discomfort that we might be sacrificing the pursuit of
Yes, I
deeper
agree.
truth. It's like if everyone just wanted to stay safe in their echo chambers, then where's the room for growth?
And what about education? It seems like the best teachers emulate this method. Don't lecture, but elicit thinking by questioning.
Absolutely. It's why the method is considered a cornerstone of critical thinking. It's more, empowering for people to arrive at their conclusions after grappling with the question rather than
Right,
having
exactly.
someone just spoon feed them an answer. This kind of questioning builds a more robust intellectual foundation.
I love that analogy. It's almost like constructing a building. You need a solid foundation instead of a shaky facade.
Yes, precisely so. And while some might argue that it can also lead to endless doubt, it's that very uncertainty that he believed was the pathway to genuine wisdom. It forces
I
us to
follow
not
that.
take things at face value and to really analyze our values.
It gets really intense, doesn't it? Just thinking about the power of a well-timed question.
It does. And it's a reminder that sometimes the simplest tool, our curiosity, can be the most formidable challenge to entrenched authority.
Yep, indeed.
After all, you don't need weapons to spark a profound revolution. You only need a question that unsettles the comfortable.
That's a really profound thought. And it challenges us to be brave enough to question what we're told, even at the risk of discomfort.
Exactly. And while it might seem risky, the alternative, blind acceptance, can lead to decay and
I understand
corruption
that.
of genuine progress. So while Socrates became a target for his fearless inquisitiveness, his legacy gives us a blueprint for nurturing our own intellectual independence.
Truly inspiring. So basically, as we navigate today's complex social and political landscape, we do well to channel a bit of that Socratic courage, even if it means ruffling some feathers.
Absolutely, our society still benefits from that kind of relentless quest for deeper truth. It's like the antidote to unearned certainty.
Exactly.
It reminds us that sometimes a simple but powerful question is all it takes to instigate real change in both ourselves and the world around us.
Well said. It really makes you think about what our own beliefs are based on and whether they can withstand scrutiny.
Precisely. So let's keep asking those challenging questions and don't be afraid to disturb the comfortable for the sake of progress. Thanks for this
Yep, totally
engaging
agree.
discussion. It's been an enlightening journey through the legacy of that great questioner Socrates.
Absolutely. Here's to the courage to ask and the wisdom that follows.